What if the very moment you're about to give up is the exact moment your destiny is about to begin? Have you ever wondered why the greatest pain in your life is connected to the birth of your highest purpose? What would your life look like if fear never had the final say? What would happen if you believed, truly believed, that everything you need is already inside you? Are you living by chance, or are you building your future by choice? When will you stop doubting your potential and start honoring your purpose? Let's pause here. At first question, what if the very moment you're about to give up is the exact moment your destiny is about to begin? This isn't just a thought, it's a mirror, because right now someone listening is on the edge. Maybe it's the weight of repeated failures, maybe it's silence after giving your all, or maybe it's the pressure to be something for everyone while losing yourself. But here's the truth. Every breaking point carries the seed of breakthrough. At the moment you're convinced is the end might actually be the beginning of your transformation. The soil of struggle is where strength grows. Now consider the second question. Have you ever wondered why the greatest pain in your life is connected to the birth of your highest purpose? Think about it. Purpose is never born in comfort. It rises from adversity, through trials that test your belief and your will. Pain refines you. It strips away ego, awakens clarity, and demands growth. That heartbreak, that failure, that moment you thought broke you, was not a punishment. It was preparation. It was your becoming point. You see, success isn't magic. It's mindset. A deeply rooted decision that no matter how hard it gets, I will not quit. That mindset gives birth to belief. And belief is not blind hope. It's the refusal to accept defeat as your identity. Belief leads to action. And action, consistent, courageous action, is what separates dreamers from achievers. But here's the catch. Fear will always show up. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. But fear only has power when you give it permission. It's a shadow, not substance. Push through it. Walk anyway. Speak anyway. Build anyway. Because the truth is, those who persist are those who transform. Persistence is not just repeating effort. It's the refusal to stop growing when nothing is working. It's holding on to your vision even when your reality mocks it. And why do you persist? Because you have a purpose. And purpose is oxygen for the soul. Without it, life feels hollow. With it, you become unstoppable. That purpose gives you confidence, not arrogance, but rooted certainty. The kind of confidence that whispers, I was made for this, even when the world shouts otherwise. And as confidence grows, so do you, internally first. You begin shifting, evolving. Your mindset transforms. You stop living from fear and start living from intention. And that growth, that inner shift, that is success. Not just what you build, but who you become in the process. This is not about motivation alone. This is about inner mastery, transformation, the kind that only happens when you're willing to go through the fire, when you're willing to face yourself, to own your fears, to reclaim your power. Because your breaking point is not your end. It's your invitation to rise. And the moment you say, no more running, no more waiting, I will become who I was created to be, that is the moment your entire life changes. Your breaking point is your becoming point. Would you like a time-stamped video description and SEO-optimized tags for this speech? The moment you feel like giving up, when everything seems to be falling apart, is often the moment when your destiny is about to unfold in ways you cannot yet see. It is during the darkest hours, when you're ready to throw in the towel, that your most significant breakthrough might be right around the corner. The human mind has an extraordinary way of perceiving setbacks as failures, but the truth is, those moments of struggle are not signs of defeat. They are often the very moments that shape your future success. Think about it. Every great achiever, every person who has made an impact in the world has faced moments of intense difficulty, frustration, and self-doubt. What sets them apart is not their lack of struggle, but their ability to push through and continue in the face of overwhelming odds. When you reach the point where you feel you cannot go any further, you are often at the threshold of a transformation that will push you beyond your limits and take you to new heights. At that point, it may feel like the end of the road. You might be exhausted from trying and failing, overwhelmed by disappointment and fear of the future. But here's the secret. You're not at the end. You're at the tipping point of your evolution. It's as if the universe is testing your resolve. It's asking, do you truly believe in your dream? Are you willing to keep going even when it feels impossible? When you choose to keep going in those moments, you demonstrate faith, not in what you can see, but in what you know is coming. The power to persist when things seem bleak is what creates lasting change. That moment you feel like giving up is the test of your will, your commitment, and your belief in yourself. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well. The true measure of your character, your potential, and your future success is revealed when you face obstacles and yet decide to move forward despite them. Look closely and you'll realize that the breaking point is often the moment right before something remarkable happens. It could be the moment before you get the breakthrough idea, meet the right person, or discover the next step that will lead you to your goal. When you push through your breaking point, you allow space for your greatest strengths to emerge. You might not even recognize your own power until you're forced to tap into it. Remember, growth happens when you stretch beyond what you thought was possible. It's in those moments of pushing through the pain, uncertainty, and fear that you find your true strength. The journey is never linear. It is filled with ups and downs, but it is in those moments of struggle that the seeds of your success are planted. The road to your destiny is often paved with setbacks, but each setback is a setup for your comeback. So the next time you feel like quitting, take a deep breath. Understand that you might be on the edge of something beautiful, something life-changing. Your destiny is not on the other side of giving up. It's on the other side of persistence. The most profound transformations happen when you push past the point of exhaustion, when you refuse to quit in the face of adversity. It is then that you truly step into your purpose, and the journey you thought was over begins a new chapter. Your breaking point is, indeed, your becoming point. Have you ever stopped to think that the greatest pain you've experienced in your life might be intricately connected to the birth of your highest purpose? It's a paradox that many of us don't realize until we've moved through the pain. But the truth is that the most intense suffering often serves as the crucible that forges our true calling. Pain in its many forms, whether it's emotional, physical, or mental, has a way of breaking us down. It strips away the layers of comfort and the facades we've built around ourselves. It forces us to confront our vulnerabilities and question our deepest beliefs. At its worst, pain can leave us feeling lost, hopeless, and unsure of how to move forward. But here's the thing, pain is not the enemy. It is a teacher, a guide, and sometimes even a guardian of the very thing we are destined to become. Think about the most difficult moments you've faced. Perhaps it was a heartbreak, a failure, or a loss. In the midst of that heartache, it may have felt like your world was crashing down, but looking back now, you might realize something extraordinary. It was in the depths of that struggle that you learned something valuable about yourself. You discovered a strength you didn't know existed, a resilience that came to life when you had no other choice but to rise above the pain. What if that pain was not meant to break you, but to shape you? What if the very suffering that seemed unbearable was meant to direct you toward your deepest purpose? The lessons learned from pain become the foundation of the wisdom you carry into your future. Pain refines you. It pushes you to shed old ways of thinking, to question what no longer serves you, and to evolve into a more authentic version of yourself. Without it, you might never have realized your full potential, nor the impact you were destined to make. When you experience pain, you are being tested. You are being asked, how much do you believe in yourself? How committed are you to your vision? Will you choose to grow even when it feels easier to give up? It is through these trials that your true purpose begins to emerge. You may not see it immediately, but the seeds of your greatest calling are often planted during your darkest time. Pain has a way of reordering your priorities. It teaches you what truly matters. It strips away distractions and forces you to focus on what's essential. It's in these moments that you realize what you were put on this earth to do. Maybe your purpose was always there, hidden beneath the noise of daily life, but it took a painful experience to bring it into sharp focus. Your highest purpose is often aligned with the very things that challenge you the most. The struggles you face in life are not random. They are part of the blueprint that guides you to your calling. They prepare you, strengthen you, and give you the wisdom you need to serve others in a way that only someone who has walked through their own suffering can. Those who have experienced pain often have the ability to empathize, to connect, and to offer healing in ways that those who have never suffered cannot. So, the next time you face pain, remember that it is not a punishment, but a part of your journey toward discovering and fulfilling your highest purpose. It is through the fire of pain that your true self is forged, and in the end, that is the version of you that will make the greatest impact. Your greatest pain has the potential to give birth to your highest purpose, transforming you into someone capable of achieving greatness. What would your life look like if fear never had the final say? Imagine, for a moment, living without the constraints of fear, holding you back from pursuing your dreams. Think about the possibilities, the opportunities, and the growth that would arise if fear didn't dictate your decisions or limit your actions. Fear, in its many forms, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown, often paralyzes us. It stops us before we even begin, convincing us that the risk is too great, the stakes too high. But what if you could break free from that grip? If fear didn't have the final say in your life, you would step into each new challenge with confidence, knowing that you are capable of facing whatever comes your way. The first step is understanding that fear in itself is not a force that needs to dominate. Fear is a natural human emotion, one that everyone experiences. However, it only holds power when you allow it to shape your decisions. Fear often arises when you're on the edge of something new, something that challenges your comfort zone. It appears because it senses change, and it tries to protect you by keeping you in the familiar, even if the familiar is holding you back from your fullest potential. But imagine a life where you didn't let fear control you. What if, instead of shrinking back in fear of failure, you leaned into the unknown with curiosity? Instead of avoiding discomfort, you welcomed it as a sign of growth. Life would be filled with action, with movement toward your goals, without hesitation or second guessing. You would take risks, not because you're fearless, but because you understand that the path to success is paved with trials, learning, and occasional setbacks. If fear didn't control you, you would have the courage to pursue the things that matter most to you. You'd take that first step toward launching your business, writing that book, or speaking your truth. Your vision wouldn't be limited by the what-ifs or the negative scenarios fear loves to create in your mind. You would move with clarity and purpose, trusting that even if things don't go perfectly, the journey itself will bring you valuable lessons that lead to growth. Without fear calling the shots, you would experience the freedom to express your authentic self, unafraid of judgment or rejection. Imagine the confidence that would come from knowing that you are enough, just as you are, and that your worth isn't tied to external validation. Fear often convinces us that we need approval, that we need to fit into a mold, or that we need to be perfect in order to be accepted. But if fear didn't have the final say, you would realize that your uniqueness is your strength. You would embrace your flaws, your imperfections, and your individuality because you know they make you who you are. Your relationships would change too. When fear is not controlling your interactions, you are able to show up more authentically with others. You would communicate openly without the fear of being misunderstood or rejected, and build deeper, more meaningful connections. You would be able to take the lead in your own life and create relationships based on mutual trust, respect, and vulnerability. Ultimately, life would become a series of possibilities instead of a series of limitations. Without fear, you would stop waiting for the perfect moment because you would understand that there is no such thing. Every moment is an opportunity to move forward, to take action, and to grow. The success you desire wouldn't seem so far away because you would be actively creating it. Fear wouldn't have the final say. It would just be a passing thought, and you would choose to move forward anyway. In the end, the life you imagine is the one you create when fear no longer holds you back. What would happen if you believed, truly believed, that everything you need is already inside you? Imagine a life where your confidence is unshakable because you know that you are already equipped with all the tools, strength, and wisdom necessary to overcome any challenge you encounter. Believing that everything you need is already within you is not just an abstract concept. It's the foundation for living a life filled with purpose, resilience, and growth. When you truly believe this, you no longer look outside yourself for validation, approval, or the answer to every question. Instead, you begin to trust in your own inner resources. This belief shifts your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. It shifts you from a place of constantly seeking and searching for something more to recognizing that you are already whole. It allows you to stop comparing yourself to others and instead embrace your unique path and potential. The validation that once seemed essential now comes from within, and it's rooted in the deep knowing that you have everything you need to succeed. When you believe this, you stop viewing obstacles as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities for growth. Challenges no longer feel like threats, but like stepping stones leading you closer to your goals. You begin to understand that obstacles aren't there to stop you. They are there to reveal your inner strength and to show you just how capable you are. The confidence that comes from this belief enables you to face adversity with grace, knowing that even when things don't go according to plan, you have the resilience to adapt and move forward. Believing that everything you need is already inside you also means embracing your potential for personal growth. Instead of waiting for external circumstances to change or for someone to come along and give you the answers, you take full ownership of your journey. You become the architect of your own life. When challenges arise, you don't wait for someone else to solve them for you. You tap into your creativity, problem-solving abilities, and inner wisdom to navigate the situation. This deep trust in yourself fosters a mindset of action. You understand that you are the creator of your destiny and you are capable of taking the necessary steps to manifest your dreams. Moreover, this belief shifts how you approach relationships. Instead of relying on others for your sense of worth or happiness, you become self-sufficient in your emotional and mental well-being. This doesn't mean you isolate yourself or disregard the value of connections with others. It simply means that you no longer depend on anyone else to complete you. You understand that your worth is inherent and doesn't require external validation. This shift leads to healthier, more balanced relationships where you show up as your authentic self, free from the need for approval. Your self-talk changes too. Instead of doubting your abilities or feeling inadequate, you begin to affirm your strengths. You stop engaging in self-criticism and start practicing self-compassion. When you make mistakes, you view them as opportunities for learning rather than signs of failure. This mindset creates a powerful cycle of self-belief that fuels your personal and professional growth. You develop a deeper connection with yourself, realizing that the strength you need to overcome anything is already present, just waiting to be tapped into. The most profound shift occurs in how you approach life. When you believe that everything you need is already inside you, you live from a place of empowerment. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions because you realize that you are capable of creating those conditions for yourself. You take full responsibility for your life and become the person you've always envisioned. This belief doesn't mean that life becomes easy, but it does mean that you face everything with the confidence that no matter what comes your way, you have everything inside you to navigate it. In essence, true belief in your inner resources unlocks your potential. It frees you from the fear of inadequacy and allows you to step into the fullest version of yourself. It shifts your perspective, your actions, and your ability to create the life you desire. You realize that you are not waiting for something outside of you to make you whole. You already have everything you need. Are you living by chance, or are you building your future by choice? This question invites a deep reflection on how much control we truly have over our lives. Many people go through life on autopilot, letting circumstances dictate their path, allowing the winds of life to push them in whichever direction they happen to blow. They react to events as they come, rather than proactively shaping their future. But when you begin to ask yourself whether you're living by chance or by choice, you start to uncover the power you have to design your life deliberately. Living by chance means you're letting life happen to you. It's when you feel like you have no control, that things just unfold the way they will, and you're just a passenger. You might think you're waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or the right person to come along to help you. In this mindset, you believe that life's outcomes are beyond your influence, and that your dreams, desires, and happiness depend on external circumstances or events. It's a passive way of living that often leads to frustration, dissatisfaction, and a sense of being stuck. On the other hand, building your future by choice is an active process. It requires awareness, intentionality, and responsibility. It means taking ownership of your life, recognizing that while you can't control everything, you always have control over how you respond and what you do. It's about making decisions based on your values, vision, and purpose, not simply reacting to the world around you. Living by choice means you are the architect of your destiny, crafting your future one decision at a time. When you start building your future by choice, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You understand that every moment is a chance to move forward, to take one step closer to the life you want to create. Even in the face of challenges or setbacks, you see them not as roadblocks, but as learning experiences, as chances to refine your path and grow stronger. You stop waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect circumstances, or waiting for someone else to make the first move. Instead, you take initiative, trusting that your actions will lead you toward the life you desire. Building your future by choice also means being intentional about your mindset. You take responsibility for your thoughts and emotions, recognizing that they shape your reality. When you choose to focus on what you can control, your attitude, your work ethic, your actions, you start to shift the energy in your life. You no longer let negative thoughts, doubts, or fear dictate your decisions. Instead, you embrace the power of positive thinking and belief in your own potential. You recognize that you are capable of achieving greatness, but it requires consistent effort and belief in your abilities. This choice also involves making tough decisions. It's easy to go with the flow, to settle for what's familiar or comfortable. But when you consciously choose to build your future, you must sometimes step outside of your comfort zone. You might have to make sacrifices, take risks, or endure hardship. But the rewards that come from these choices are immeasurable. By stepping into your power, making deliberate choices, and taking action toward your goals, you begin to see the life you've always dreamed of slowly take shape. Living by choice also means being in alignment with your purpose. It's about knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you're headed. When you understand your purpose, every decision becomes clearer. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your values and passions, and instead you focus on what truly matters to you. This sense of purpose serves as a guiding light, helping you navigate challenges and stay focused on your long-term vision. Ultimately, living by choice isn't just about taking control of your life. It's about understanding that you have the power to create the future you desire. Your decisions, your actions, and your mindset all play a role in shaping that future. When you stop living by chance and start building your future by choice, you begin to live a life of purpose, passion, and fulfillment. Every step you take is a conscious decision to move closer to the life you're meant to live. You realize that you are not at the mercy of fate, but are instead the creator of your own destiny. When will you stop doubting your potential and start honoring your purpose? It's a question that challenges the very foundation of how you see yourself and your capabilities. The truth is, self-doubt is a powerful force that holds many of us back from realizing our full potential. We often question whether we're good enough, whether we have what it takes, and whether we truly deserve to step into the greatness we dream of. But what if the real question is not about whether you have what it takes, but rather when you will choose to believe that you do? Self-doubt often arises from fear, the fear of failure, fear of judgment, and the fear of not living up to expectations. It's a natural human response, but it's also one that can keep us stuck in a cycle of inaction and missed opportunities. Doubt tells us to play small, to avoid taking risks, and to stay in our comfort zones. It convinces us that we're not ready, that we're not good enough, or that we don't have the skills necessary to succeed. But the truth is, these doubts are not reflections of our actual capabilities. They are merely limiting beliefs that can be overcome when we choose to honor our purpose instead of our fears. Honoring your purpose means recognizing that you are here for a reason, that your life has meaning, and that you have unique gifts to offer the world. It's about accepting that your potential is not something to be doubted or questioned, but something to be celebrated and embraced. When you honor your purpose, you stop waiting for external validation or the perfect moment to act. You trust that you have everything inside of you to make a difference, no matter how big or small the impact may be. The first step toward honoring your purpose is to stop doubting your worth. It's to understand that your potential is not determined by your past mistakes or the opinions of others. It is inherent in who you are as a person, and it is shaped by the unique experiences, talents, and perspectives you bring to the table. Everyone has a purpose, and yours is just as valid and valuable as anyone. The moment you stop doubting your potential is the moment you begin to step into the person you were always meant to be. Doubt often stems from comparison. We look at others who seem to have it all together, who appear to be succeeding effortlessly, and we think, why not me? The answer is simple, because you are not them. Your path is yours alone, and comparing your journey to others only distracts you from the greatness that resides within you. No one else can fulfill your purpose in the way that you can. Your uniqueness is your strength. And once you recognize that, you'll see how your potential is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced. When you honor your purpose, you stop seeking permission from others to be great. You begin to take ownership of your life and your journey. You stop waiting for external approval and start moving forward with confidence, knowing that your purpose is already in motion. The fears and doubts that once held you back lose their power as you begin to trust in yourself and the journey ahead. Honoring your purpose also means taking action. It's one thing to believe that you have potential. It's another to actually step into that potential and do something with it. Every small action you take toward fulfilling your purpose sends a message to your subconscious that you are worthy of success, that you are capable of greatness, and that you are ready for what lies ahead. You won't always have all the answers, and you won't always feel fully prepared. But when you honor your purpose, you trust that each step you take is leading you to where you are meant to be. So, when will you stop doubting your potential and start honoring your purpose? The answer lies in the moment you make the choice to believe in yourself. The moment you decide that fear and doubt no longer have control over your actions. The moment you choose to step into your greatness, knowing that you are fully capable of fulfilling your purpose. Your potential is already within you, waiting to be unleashed. It's time to stop doubting and start honoring the incredible journey that lies ahead. In conclusion, the journey from doubt to self-belief is one of the most transformative paths you can walk. When you stop questioning your potential and start embracing the truth that everything you need is already inside you, a powerful shift occurs. You begin to move with purpose, confidence, and clarity, knowing that you are equipped to face any challenge that comes your way. Doubt loses its grip, and your fears, though they may still arise, no longer dictate your actions. Instead of waiting for permission, you take ownership of your journey, stepping into the future with the knowledge that your unique gifts and talents are the very keys to your success. By choosing to honor your purpose, you unlock a life filled with possibility. You realize that your path is not defined by external circumstances or the expectations of others, but by your own inner strength and the vision you hold for yourself. As you take action toward your goals, no matter how small, you demonstrate to yourself and the world that you are worthy of the life you desire. The real transformation happens when you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it, step by step. So, the question is no longer about when you will believe in your potential or honor your purpose. It's about when you will take that first step forward. The moment you choose to stop doubting and start believing is the moment your life begins to align with your highest aspirations. Your future is not shaped by chance, but by the choices you make today. The power is in your hands.